My girlfriend and I, Natasha, her and I just get an apartment, or it's basically a little house. It's a 1-bedroom house, small little rinky-dinky house. I mean, 1 bedroom, had a kitchen, dining room, living room, and of course, bathroom. You know, and there was a laundry room in the bathroom. I mean, it was a nice little house. Well, one evening, I'm sitting there on the couch and I'm thinking, look over at Natasha and I said, what the fuck is what the hell is that? He goes, what? I mute the television. I said, you did not hear that. Now I'm sitting closer to the kitchen than what she was. And we start hearing this scratching, like on the fucking linoleum or the hardwood floor out in the kitchen. Like, what the fuck is that? Couldn't figure out what the hell it was. So we didn't pay no mind to it. Well, that night we started hearing footsteps and the door handle rattle. All right, someone's in our fucking apartment, or someone's in our fucking house. I get the hell up out of bed. I had an aluminum ball bat. I grabbed that fucking ball bat, whipped that fucking door open. Who the fuck is in my goddamn house? Nothing. Open up the fucking back door. Didn't see anybody. Nothing. A couple nights later, Tosh and I are zonked out. She gets grabbed on her leg and she jumps clean off the bed and jumps right on top of me.
No, I got grabbed and ripped down the bed.
She got grabbed and ripped down the bed. So she jumps on top of me. Something just grabbed me, and I'm out. I'm fucking out cold, and I'm trying to comprehend what the hell she's saying. So I'm ready to fucking kill somebody. I get up and I'm ready to start just busting fucking skulls. She says, no, something grabbed me and pulled me off the bed. Almost pulled me off the bed.
And
so
there were fingerprints.
And yes, there was fingerprints on her leg. So I sat up that whole entire fucking night. Eyes wide open, and I'm laying there staring at the fucking ceiling the whole night. Thinking, alright, if I'm gonna catch a glimpse of this son of a bitch, whatever the hell it may be, it's gonna be now, because whatever it is, it's here. So I called Nate over, and Nate come over, and he starts snapping pictures and whatnot. Didn't really see anything. A couple nights later, I got batteries for my camera, and I started snapping pictures. There's orbs, little balls of light above the bed, on both sides of the bed. Then I take a picture from the doorway into the bedroom. There's orbs, a couple orbs in the corner of the bedroom, one on the ceiling, and then one on the banister, or not the banister, the bed frame, right up above the fucking post. On her side of the bed is an orb. I start taking pictures throughout the rest of the apartment. A couple show up in the kitchen. Nothing shows up in the living room. So I'm wondering, I'm scrolling through these pictures. I'm like, all right, fuck this shit. It's raining. I don't care. I put on my spring jacket. Basically, it's waterproof. Put on a hat, and then Natasha puts on a sweatshirt, and we go outside. I start taking pictures with the windows open. Just picking random windows that I could get to, and start snapping pictures on the from the outside to the inside. I only caught one that I could distinctively make out either a hand or the start of a head. Didn't know what it was. You know, it was pretty much shoulder height. About, I'm 5'9", roughly, give or take a half inch or quarter of an inch. And it was about shoulder height where my top of my shoulder is. It's about how high this shadowy figure was. And it was either a hand or it was a head. I don't know which. You know, whether it was waving, something was waving to me, or a head or a figure of a head was starting to form. I don't know. Nate comes over, couldn't figure anything out.
And I want to make a point that ever since about 8 years ago, I've been somewhat of an amateur paranormal investigator. Like, I don't have fancy equipment and stuff, but I've done this on and off over the years. Like, me and some other friends, we used to have a little thing. We were the Mount Union Ghost Hunting Society. But we kind of split up, but I've still been doing it somewhat since then. And, you know, with varying degrees of success. So if anybody is wondering why I'm involved in all this, that's why.
Yeah. But we're almost at the half hour mark where this camera likes to, you know,
likes to shit out. So
crap out on us. So we'll be right back.
We'll be back here in a little bit. And we're back. So where were we?
Oh, I think I was about to talk about the next thing that happened to us.
All right.
We're sitting there, or Natasha, I'm sorry, I wasn't sitting there, I was at work. Natasha's sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden, my grandfather made me a cross, or made all of his grandchildren either crosses or something out of wood. Well, I just so happened to get a cross, and I had it on shelving, or a shelf on the wall. There was 3 shelves, and they were screwed on the wall at the house in Heston that we lived at. And the cross was in the middle shelf. That old car. Yeah. And Natasha's sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden, here comes the fucking cross at her. Flops right on her fucking lap. Then she has an angel picture that didn't your grandmother, your nan get you that?
Yes.
Her nan got her. The picture was practically coming off the wall. It was moving around, swinging around. She texted me. I was a delivery driver for an auto parts store at the time. She texted me. She says, "When you get home, I need to tell you something."
That's the only thing that happened to be there.
Well, what else happened to you? Hey.
Well, I had doors shut on me that you can't lock and it wouldn't let me out. I had the bathroom door shut and nobody else was there but me. Kitchen chairs moved.
Yeah, basically the classic paranormal bullshit that normally happens. You know, the slamming of the doors, the, you know, shit getting moved around, the footsteps. Yeah. And then, after all that, we move out of there because we were forced out. We move into an apartment in Huntington. One of my friends. He finished the place. Got the place pretty much. He got it livable for us, and we move in there. Little things started happening there. You know, stuff would get. You know, Natasha would think that she would misplace something. No. It was just all sorts of completely moved around. Shit would get moved, like her brush, her TV remote, you know, cell phone would get moved. You know, stupid shit like that. You know.
Even after you moved, shit happened.
I moved out in June of 2013, and shit was still going on. Then the place that we're living in now. We had
This is what we were just investigating.
yes, we had
And we'll let you know how it turns out at the end of the video.
we had television turned on was the first thing. Television in the bedroom. There's no cable hooked up to it or anything, so it was just sitting there saying no signal. Now when Natasha left it wasn't on. She comes back, the fucker's on. Next thing that happens, it happens like a day or two afterward. She was in Huntington. She had to run, do some errands, and I got home before she did, and the bamboo plant that I got her, my mother got her a glass jar. Well, it's not a jar, but a big ass glass. Looks like it.
Looks like an oversized wine glass.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like an oversized wine glass. Well, it was in our kitchen, and I had a beta in it. Well, the fucking bowl was sitting at the very edge of the fucking countertop where I had it. All but ready to fall the fuck off. So I didn't think it, alright, fucking with us again, alright. You get the laugh. So I move it and I put a doily underneath it, thinking, alright, it'll be alright. Nothing else happened there. Next day, Natasha had to go back into town. Comes back home, the fucking refrigerator is wide open. Wide open. And I have noticed that I know I brought it with us, but I don't know whether I misplaced it or whatever the case may be. It's a form for my health insurance, for the payment for my health insurance. The fucking form is missing. I have no idea where the hell it is. either I misplaced it, left it in my fucking car, or it fucked with me then. But the big kahoonie, the big shit, the big fucking thing with all this at our new place, we started hearing footsteps, growls, people talking back and forth, whispers, and the normal chills, the breath on the neck and shit like that. And it all started, Natasha and I got into a little bit of an argument, and that's whenever it started. Boom. No sooner than we started arguing, she started hearing shit, started hearing footsteps, and started seeing shadows. So I sit down, we both calm down, and we're talking, and we still hear footsteps, still hear talking. Every once in a brief moment, we would see a shadow or two walk by us. So I grab my lighter, light my lighter, holding it out in front of me. Now, you guys don't ever see, barely ever see me standing there perfectly still, my arms up or whatever. But I shake my hands and my arms shake almost all the time because of my back. I have a pinched nerve in my back. Well, I'm standing there trying to hold my lighter as perfectly straight as or perfectly still as possible, and you can see the fucking flame get bigger and then get smaller. We tell it, all right, try to blow that out. Well, all you can see is the flame moving side to side. Okay, so I figured, okay, maybe my lighter's running out of fluid. It's a Zippo lighter. So I grab a candle lighter, I light it. It did the same thing. All right. Just for shits and giggles, Natasha grabs a lid for a fucking candle and puts it in the doorway of our bedroom. She didn't put it exactly in the middle, left it a little off to the right. Well, no sooner do we sit there and we're talking, no sooner that sumbitch, you can watch it moving across the fucking carpet. Then, out of the corner of my eye, my grandmother gave me most of her things when she passed away. And the one thing she gave me, I've remembered it as long as I can remember, whenever I was a kid, way back when. The earliest I can remember was I was probably 5 years old. But she's had it longer than that, because my mother can remember her having it then. It's a little pumpkin. I don't know exactly what it's made out of. It feels like pipe cleaners, but it's not. It's real bristly, but it has a little bit of weight to it, and it would take some force to actually, goddamn, put your fucking window up.
Yeah, we're in the middle of farm country now.
Yeah, they've got to be spreading shit, because goddamn, I know that wasn't you that shit yourself.
No, not this time.
But anyway, whew, fuck.
And speaking of pumpkins,
yeah,
there's a big old pumpkin.
There it is. Just caught a glimpse of it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Just out of the corner of my eye, right after the lid from the candle got moved, I see this shadow go by me. And Natasha is watching the lid. We're watching all this shit happen. You know, she gets out her she gets out a little video recorder, tries recording this stuff. Nothing happened whenever the video recorder was out. She puts that away, and then it started happening again. And we're sitting there watching this happen, and then out of the corner of my eye, like I said, I see this shadow whiz by me. Well, there goes my fucking pumpkin. It moves. I had it lined up pretty much in the middle of the shelf where our DVDs are. It gets moved off to the left about 6 inches, and it wasn't, you know, real, you know, short little jolts to move it over. It was right the fuck now. It wasn't picked up or anything. It was slid, and it was turned directly towards me. But the most fucked up thing about this whole thing, about our new apartment, was October 26th, 2013, a 24-year-old male died in that apartment. We don't know from what. We have our suspicions that it may have been drug overdose or, you know, natural causes. Who knows? But 24-year-old male that was born in March of '89, few months older than me, died in our apartment almost a year ago.
Yeah. Because whenever we started the investigation, you know, he called me over, and I started investigating, and he gets the idea, you know, just to start doing some research. So, you know,
I look up the fucking building.
Google searched it, and there comes up an obituary for this guy.
Very first fucking thing that came up.
Yeah. So, you know, just to make a long story short, we do a little research on this guy and find out, you know, where he's buried. And this all happened between the first part of the video and now.
Yeah.
But we go and investigate the cemetery. We didn't get to go up in because there was houses nearby and people sitting there, and we didn't want to get 1,000,005 questions what we're doing there. But the point I'm trying to make is we came up short. But
Yeah.
as we're driving around right before, you know, anyway, you know, we did the investigation, you know, before we started recording.
Yeah.
And anyway, and what I'm trying to say is, when we got back, you know, before we got to what we're doing now, we basically, whatever it was, it's not there anymore. And I'm not going to go into too much details about what we did and how we did it, but we're pretty sure we got the problem taken care of.
And nothing has happened to my knowledge. How about you? Has anything happened at the apartment?
Not that I've noticed.
Nothing at all.
Because we don't normally do this, but since this is probably not making a whole lot of sense, we're actually doing this video on 2 different nights.
Yeah.
So the first part where we were talking about, you know, where I work and stuff, that was the night we did the investigation.
Yeah.
And now this is like afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah. First time we've ever had to do this as a 2-nighter, but
Yeah.
still.
I got one.
Alright, let's hear.
I don't care who believes me or not, but shortly after Kyle's grandmother dies, I come out of my bedroom and she's sitting there plain as day on my couch. Says, "Hi Natasha, how are you?" And I'm looking like, what the fuck am I seeing, and how the hell is she in my house?
How does she even know where the hell she lived?
Yeah.
She was never at our apartment. She was never at that apartment. She was at the house that we lived at in Heston. but she was never at that apartment. But they say wherever you go, they follow. If you're just a relative or a close friend, or you know, or whatever passes on, they know where you're at all 24/7.
One thing she told me was to keep an eye on her grandson and keep him straight. And I said, I'll try. Well, one other thing that happened to me, I was in the graveyard. Broad daylight, shit you not. I don't care if you believe me or not. But I was walking through the graveyard, and here I see two little kids dressed in older clothing. They're playing hide and go seek behind the gravestones. I see them, they see me, they start giggling. And then when they see me coming closer, they run behind one. And I get closer to that tombstone, and I look, and they're not there.
Oh, yeah.
And I look all around where I was, and there was no adult nor those children anywhere.
You have anything else, honey?
One last thing is, my brother and I one night were curious just to see what would happen up at the cemetery, so we went up at midnight and we're walking around, and it hits 12:15 and we hear this woman screaming bloody murder, and the closer we got, the louder it got. Then we start walking around some more, and we see lights flashing where there are no, you know how people put little lights down by their tombstones and stuff?
Yeah.
There was nothing. We checked. They were just lights popping up. As we walked some more, we started hearing little footsteps behind us and giggling. So my brother just started making the clapping sound with his hands, and then you'd hear him. And as we're walking down the cemetery hill to go back down to where I was living at the time, I started feeling those tingly feelings you get on the back of your neck and in your head. Then I feel a little hand tugging on my pants.
Yep.
And then by the time I hit off the cemetery ground, it went away.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're spirits. I don't care what anybody says. I've seen them. I've heard them. I've been touched by them.
Yes.
So, if anybody's had that happen to you before, you know where I'm coming from. If you don't know, just wait till it happens to you, and then you can look at me and say, wow, she was right, or they were right, whatever you want to say.
I think we're pretty much out of stories for tonight.
Yeah, and we're all but at the 30-minute mark again, so.
And in the next segment, I'm going to wrap this one up, and I'm going to show you where my accident was. So the next thing you'll see is me talking about that, and this part you're about to see was recorded the other night. So this video is a little bit out of order, but anyway, I'll see you in the next segment.
Yes, sir.
As I was talking about in the beginning of the video, why I haven't been making videos lately. I'm actually traveling past the scene of my accident right now, and I'm just gonna click the high beams on to show you, but yeah, it was right here, right there, by that little yellow sign right there. You probably can't see it, but yeah, that's where it happened.